The battlefield was a cacophony of chaos, but Lyra's mind was elsewhere. Her heart pounded as she hesitated to strike the defenseless human before her. The war had raged for years, but now, in the midst of another senseless slaughter, she was questioning everything. Suddenly, a mysterious message flashed on her device. The truth lies beneath the surface. Lyra's life had always been one of discipline and duty. As a Xylorian warrior, she was trained to be both intelligent and lethal. Her tall, lithe form and striking silver eyes marked her as one of the elite. Despite her physical prowess and sharp mind, an inner conflict brewed within her, which her mentor, General Kale, always dismissed. "Our survival depends on eliminating the human threat," he would say, his voice firm and unyielding. Every day, Lyra followed orders, participating in rigorous training sessions and engaging in strategic planning. Yet, every night, her dreams were haunted by the faces of fallen humans and the whispers of her own conscience. Propaganda was everywhere, depicting humans as savage and deceitful beings. Lyra couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. The more she witnessed the devastation, the more she doubted the righteousness of their cause. It was during one of these moments of doubt that she received the encrypted message. Driven by a deep sense of justice and curiosity, she knew she had to investigate further. In the quiet hours of the night, Lyra snuck into an off-limits area within the Xylorian command center. She followed the faint signals from her device, leading her to a hidden chamber. The door slid open with a soft hiss, revealing rows of ancient records and holographic displays. Lyra's heart raced as she began to piece together the information. What she discovered shook her to the core. The records revealed that a powerful faction within the Xylorians, led by a shadowy figure known only as the Sovereign, had manipulated events to instigate the war. The reasons were far from noble. It was a ploy for power and control, orchestrated by those who stood to gain the most. Her world turned upside down. Lyra realized she could no longer stand by and be part of the charade. She knew she had to act, but the path ahead was fraught with danger. As she left the hidden chamber, her mind was made up. She would defect and warn the humans, no matter the cost. Lyra's decision to uncover the conspiracy was driven by a deep sense of justice. She could no longer turn a blind eye to the suffering and manipulation. Her heart pounded as she navigated through the dimly lit corridors of the Xylorian command center. The encrypted message had led her to this moment, and she knew there was no turning back. The hidden chamber was cold and sterile, a stark contrast to the chaos outside. As she activated the ancient records, holographic displays flickered to life, revealing a web of deceit that spanned generations. The war's origins were not rooted in survival but in the ambitions of a powerful faction that sought to control both Xylorians and humans. Lyra's eyes widened as she read the details. The faction, led by the Sovereign, had orchestrated the conflict to consolidate power. The humans were painted as the enemy, but in reality, they were pawns in a much larger game. The records revealed secret meetings, backroom deals, and a calculated plan to perpetuate the war. Her hands trembled as she absorbed the information. The truth was far more sinister than she had ever imagined. The Xylorian people were being manipulated, their lives sacrificed for the ambitions of a few. Lyra's determination solidified. She had to expose the truth and stop the senseless violence. As she prepared to leave the chamber, she heard footsteps approaching. Panic surged through her, but she quickly hid the records and slipped into the shadows. A group of enforcers entered the room, their conversation confirming her worst fears. They were aware of her actions and were closing in on her. With her heart pounding in her chest, Lyra made a daring escape. She navigated the labyrinthine corridors, avoiding detection and narrowly evading capture. Her mind raced with the implications of what she had uncovered. The truth was a powerful weapon, but it would mean nothing if she couldn't share it with the humans. Finally, she reached the hangar bay, where she had hidden a small vessel. Her hands shook as she activated the controls, the engines roaring to life. As she soared into the darkness of space, she knew there was no turning back. She was now a fugitive, hunted by her own people. But she was also a beacon of hope. With the truth in her possession, she had the power to change the course of the war. Her mission was clear: reach the humans and reveal the conspiracy. The journey ahead would be perilous, but Lyra was ready to face whatever challenges lay in her path. The stars blurred past as Lyra's vessel hurtled through space. Her body ached from the wounds sustained during her escape, but her mind was sharp and focused. She knew that reaching the humans was only the beginning. Convincing them of the truth would be an even greater challenge. Her thoughts were interrupted by the blaring of alarms. The Xylorian enforcers were closing in, their ships hot on her trail. Lyra's heart raced as she maneuvered her vessel through a field of asteroids, using the debris as cover. She knew she couldn't outrun them forever. Her vessel shuddered as it took a hit, systems failing one by one. Desperation clawed at her, but she refused to give up. With a final burst of energy, she activated an emergency jump, propelling her ship into uncharted space. The Enforcer's ships disappeared from her radar, but her relief was short-lived as her vessel crashed onto a remote, uncharted planet. Lyra stumbled out of the wreckage, her body battered and bruised. The air was thick with tension as she surveyed her surroundings. She knew the humans wouldn't trust her easily, especially given the history of animosity between their species. But she had no other choice. She had to warn them. As she made her way through the dense forest, Lyra's thoughts were consumed by the enormity of her task. She had risked everything to uncover the truth, and now she had to convince the humans to believe her. The stakes were high, and failure was not an option. After days of treacherous travel, she finally reached a human outpost. Her presence was met with hostility, the humans' weapons trained on her. She raised her hands in surrender, her voice trembling as she pleaded for them to listen.
"I come with a message of truth and hope,"
she said, her voice carrying the weight of her journey. The humans were skeptical, their mistrust palpable. But Lyra's sincerity shone through, and slowly, they lowered their weapons. She was taken to their leader, a stern but fair man named Captain Reed. His eyes bored into hers as he demanded an explanation. Lyra recounted her journey, the discovery of the conspiracy, and the perilous escape. She showed them the records she had stolen, the evidence of the Xylorian faction's manipulation. Her voice was steady, but her eyes betrayed the fear and determination that fueled her. Captain Reed listened intently, his expression unreadable. When she finished, there was a heavy silence. Finally, he spoke, his voice tinged with a mix of disbelief and hope.
"If what you say is true, we may have a chance to end this war."
Lyra nodded, relief washing over her. She had taken the first step in a long and arduous journey. The humans were willing to listen, and now they had to work together to expose the truth and find the last refuge. The path ahead was uncertain, but Lyra's resolve was unwavering. Lyra's heart pounded as she stood before the human leaders. The room was filled with tension, their eyes fixed on her with a mix of suspicion and curiosity. She had risked everything to reach this point, and now she had to convince them of her sincerity and the urgent need for cooperation. Captain Reed, the leader of the human resistance, studied her intently. His stern expression softened slightly as he addressed her.
"We have much to discuss. Your journey was perilous, and your information is invaluable. But trust must be earned through actions."
Lyra nodded, understanding the gravity of the situation. She recounted her discovery of the conspiracy, the hidden chamber, and the powerful faction manipulating the war. Her words were met with silence, but she could see the gears turning in their minds. One of the leaders, a woman named Dr. Elena Carter, spoke up.
"If what you say is true, we need to act quickly. But how can we be sure you're not leading us into a trap?"
Lyra's eyes met Dr. Carter's, her voice filled with conviction.
"I have no reason to deceive you. My people have been manipulated just as yours have. We have a common enemy, and together, we can expose the truth."
The room was silent as the leaders exchanged glances. Finally, Captain Reed spoke.
"We will work together, but we will proceed with caution. Trust must be built, and actions speak louder than words."
Lyra nodded, relief washing over her. The first step had been taken. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but she was determined to prove herself and earn their trust. The humans and Xylorians had a common goal, to find the last refuge and secure a future for both species. The days that followed were filled with tense negotiations and strategic planning. Lyra's presence was a constant reminder of the fragile alliance, and she worked tirelessly to bridge the gap between the two species. She shared her knowledge of Xylorian technology and tactics, helping the humans prepare for the journey ahead. As they prepared for the perilous journey to the sanctuary, Lyra's leadership and bravery became increasingly evident. She faced cultural clashes and mistrust, but she remained steadfast in her mission. Bonds began to form between her and the humans, their shared goal uniting them in a way that transcended their differences. One night, as they gathered around a campfire, Lyra shared stories of her childhood and the values she held dear. The humans listened intently, their mistrust slowly giving way to understanding. It was in these moments of vulnerability and connection that the seeds of true cooperation were planted. The journey ahead would be fraught with danger, but Lyra was ready to face whatever challenges lay in their path. She knew that together, they had the power to change the course of history. The last refuge was within reach, and with it, the hope for a new beginning. The vastness of space stretched out before them as Lyra and the humans embarked on their perilous journey. The sanctuary, their last refuge, was their destination, but the path was fraught with danger. Lyra's heart was heavy with the weight of responsibility, but she remained resolute. As their ship soared through the cosmos, the tension was palpable. The humans were wary, their mistrust still lingering. But Lyra's determination and bravery shone through, guiding them through treacherous space phenomena and evading Xylorian patrols. One of the first challenges they faced was navigating through a violent asteroid field. The ship shook violently as they dodged the massive rocks, Lyra's eyes fixed on the radar. Her voice was steady as she issued commands, her calm demeanor a beacon of hope for the crew. Despite the constant danger, moments of camaraderie began to emerge. Lyra's leadership and unwavering resolve inspired the humans, their initial skepticism slowly giving way to trust. She worked tirelessly alongside them, sharing her knowledge and skills to ensure their survival. As they journeyed deeper into uncharted space, they encountered a series of natural and artificial obstacles. Nebulas that disrupted their navigation systems, rogue Xylorian patrols on the hunt, and mysterious space anomalies that tested their resolve. Each challenge was met with determination and ingenuity, Lyra's presence a constant source of strength. During one particularly harrowing encounter with a Xylorian patrol, Lyra's quick thinking and bravery saved the ship from certain destruction. She led a daring maneuver, using the ship's cloaking technology to evade detection and outsmart their pursuers. The crew's admiration for her grew, their trust solidifying with each passing day. The journey was not without its moments of despair. Supplies ran low, and the crew faced the harsh realities of space travel. But Lyra's unyielding spirit kept them going. She reminded them of their shared goal, the hidden planet that held the key to their survival. One night, as they approached the final stretch of their journey, Lyra gathered the crew for a meeting. Her voice was filled with determination as she spoke.
We are close to our destination. The last refuge is within reach. But we must remain vigilant. Our enemies will stop at nothing to prevent us from succeeding.
The crew nodded, their resolve strengthened by her words. They knew the final leg of their journey would be the most dangerous, but they were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Together, they would find the last refuge and secure a future for both humans and Xylorians. As they entered the final stretch of their journey, the sanctuary came into view. Its lush landscapes and serene beauty were a stark contrast to the desolation they had left behind. Hope filled their hearts as they prepared for the final approach, knowing that their mission was far from over. Lyra's heart swelled with a mix of anticipation and trepidation. The journey had tested their resolve and forged unbreakable bonds. Now, they faced the ultimate test, securing the last refuge and protecting it from their enemies. The future of both species depended on their success, and Lyra was ready to lead them into the unknown. The sanctuary was a breathtaking sight, its vibrant landscapes and pristine beauty a stark contrast to the war-torn worlds they had left behind. But as Lyra and the crew prepared to land, a sense of unease settled over them. They knew their enemies would not give up so easily. As they touched down on the planet's surface, the air was thick with tension. The crew quickly set up a perimeter, their eyes scanning the horizon for any signs of danger. Lyra's heart pounded as she took in the unfamiliar surroundings. This was their last hope, and they had to defend it at all costs. Their fears were soon realized when the powerful Xylorian faction launched a surprise attack. The skies darkened as enemy ships descended upon them, their weapons blazing. The crew sprang into action, their determination unwavering as they fought to protect their new home. Lyra led the charge, her skills and bravery on full display. She fought with a ferocity born of desperation, her every move calculated and precise. The humans and defected Xylorians fought side by side, their unity a testament to the bonds they had forged during their journey. The battle was intense and relentless. The enemy forces were formidable, their advanced technology and sheer numbers a daunting challenge. But Lyra's leadership and strategic brilliance turned the tide. She directed the crew with unwavering resolve, their coordinated efforts repelling the enemy onslaught. In the midst of the chaos, Lyra faced a moment of reckoning. She came face to face with the Sovereign, the shadowy figure behind the conspiracy. Their eyes locked in a deadly stare, and Lyra knew that this was the pivotal moment. The fate of both species hung in the balance. The clash between Lyra and the Sovereign was fierce and brutal. Their combat skills were evenly matched, each blow resonating with the weight of their convictions. Lyra's determination and sense of justice fueled her, giving her the strength to overcome her formidable opponent. With a final, decisive strike, Lyra defeated the Sovereign. The enemy forces, now leaderless and disoriented, began to retreat. The crew's cheers echoed through the battlefield as they secured their victory. The last refuge was safe, and the hope for a new beginning was within reach. As the dust settled, Lyra surveyed the aftermath of the battle. The cost had been high, but their determination and unity had prevailed. The sanctuary, their last refuge, stood as a beacon of hope for both humans and Xylorians. Lyra's heart swelled with a mix of relief and pride. They had faced insurmountable odds and emerged victorious. The journey had tested their resolve and forged unbreakable bonds. Now, they stood on the precipice of a new beginning, their shared future filled with promise. The crew gathered around Lyra, their faces reflecting a mix of exhaustion and hope. She addressed them, her voice filled with gratitude and determination.
We have fought for this moment, and we have won. But our journey is far from over. Together, we will build a new future, one where humans and Xylorians can coexist in peace.
The crew's cheers echoed through the air, their spirits lifted by Lyra's words. They knew the challenges ahead would be great, but they were ready to face them together. The last refuge was a symbol of their resilience and unity, a testament to the power of hope and cooperation. The aftermath of the battle was a mix of relief and mourning. The sanctuary, their last refuge, had been secured, but the cost had been high. Lyra's heart was heavy as she walked among the fallen, her eyes filled with a sense of purpose and resolve. The crew worked tirelessly to establish a new settlement. The sanctuary's lush landscapes and abundant resources offered a fresh start, a chance to rebuild and create a new future. Lyra's leadership was instrumental in guiding their efforts, her vision of unity and cooperation inspiring both humans and Xylorians. Despite the challenges they faced, moments of hope and joy began to emerge. The bonds forged during their perilous journey grew stronger, their shared experiences creating a sense of camaraderie and trust. Lyra's presence was a constant source of strength, her unwavering resolve a beacon of hope for all. As they worked to build their new home, Lyra reflected on the journey that had brought them to this point. The discovery of the conspiracy, the perilous escape, the fragile alliance, and the final stand had tested their resolve and forged unbreakable bonds. The sanctuary was a testament to their resilience and determination. One evening, as the sun set over the horizon, Lyra gathered the crew for a meeting. Her voice was filled with gratitude and hope as she addressed them.
We have faced insurmountable odds and emerged victorious. This sanctuary is our last refuge, a place where we can build a new future together.
The crew's faces reflected a mix of exhaustion and determination. They knew the challenges ahead would be great, but they were ready to face them together. The last refuge was a symbol of their unity and resilience, a testament to the power of hope and cooperation. As they worked to establish their new settlement, Lyra's leadership and vision continued to guide them. Her unwavering resolve and sense of justice inspired both humans and Xylorians, their shared goal of coexistence driving their efforts. The sanctuary offered a chance for a new beginning, a future filled with promise. The story of Lyra and the crew became a legend, a tale of hope and resilience that would be passed down through generations. Their journey had tested their resolve and forged unbreakable bonds, their shared experiences creating a sense of unity and cooperation. As the sanctuary flourished, Lyra's heart swelled with pride and hope. They had faced the darkness and emerged into the light, their shared future filled with promise and possibility. The last refuge was a symbol of their resilience and determination, a testament to the power of hope and cooperation. If you enjoyed the journey of The Last Refuge, don't miss our next thrilling sci-fi adventure. Click on the video appearing on your screen now to dive into another captivating story from the Sci-Fi Story Vault. Subscribe to our channel for more epic tales of bravery, mystery, and the limitless possibilities of the universe. Join us as we explore new worlds and unforgettable adventures. Thanks for watching.